All right, Jason, looks like we're live. Good evening, everyone. Today I am coming to you from sunny, but freezing Los Angeles. And then today I'm joined by my good friend Jason Tieri of the Threads podcast. Also, you may have known, or you might have seen him, or you might know him from the Gig Economy podcast as well. He also has his own website. If you guys want to check it out, learn more about him later, jasonthierry.com. I've gotten to know Jason over the past year or so. We're both in the gig economy world. He does he started off doing rideshare. I do food delivery, but now that we both do food delivery, it's easy. We have more common ground. Anyway, I really enjoyed listening or talking to Jason and listening to everything that he has to say. Really cool dude. Just a good all around guy. So I'm looking forward to having this conversation with him today. Jason, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me on, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, like John said, we kind of connected through a mutual friend, and we've he's been on our show a bunch of times and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I have two podcasts. I also have a podcast production company. I have 19 kids. No, I'm just kidding. I have three kids. Two of them with birthdays in December, 5 days before Christmas and one day after. So I'm currently broke. So send money.
Who wasn't?
Uh, yeah, I know. So yeah, John, I was on another show and John said, "Hey, that sounds like a great topic, and would you like to come on?" I said, "Hell yeah, let's do this."
Yeah, the podcast that Jason was referring to, I'll put a link of it after the show in the description. It's a podcast with Taylor Way where you guys talked about being or maintaining, even trying to find new friendships in today's digital age where everyone's kind of glued to their phones, and how difficult it is to form new friendships, or even like I said, maintain and stay in touch with current friends. And I said, you know what, that's something that I'm kind of currently going through, and what better person to talk about it than Jason? So here we are talking to you guys. Jason, some of the things that you and Don Taylor talked about from on the podcast was that as you get older, it's easier for your friends to kind of drift apart. Also, sometimes for me, my example, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and it's kind of by design. I like to take risks financially, so I feel like I'm not in a place to support kids in a marriage yet. So, but a lot of my friends have gotten married and they do have kids. Is that kind of something that you've experienced over the years growing up?
A little bit. I think what I've experienced most is just values change in life. That's kind of how my last group of friends, how we just kind of drifted away. Oops, I'm sorry about that.
You're still good.
Yeah, I know, but you know me, I'm like
Yeah.
audio snob, and I had Facebook. Usually, I have Facebook muted, but my buddy just sent me a message. But speaking of, that's one of the guys. Yeah, so the values just changed, and I wasn't interested in just goofing around with guy friends anymore. I wanted some more deeper relationships, and I think that was more it for me. Not because we all had kids and stuff like that, but it was more just value changes, and not that they're bad people or anything like that. It just was like, yeah, I'm not interested in whatever this is. I just need more out of a friendship.
So you mentioned that you kind of you wanted to find or even maintain deeper relationships. Is that something that you'd like to elaborate on if you're comfortable doing so?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I would guess that those old friends are still the same. I shouldn't speculate because we're not close anymore. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm always looking for a deeper relationship. I mean, when I say looking, I mean, I think it naturally will happen. I'm not like seeking people out, but like when I do connect with people, I'm like, oh, they're cool. Like, I think I could, be friends with them. And I have like one close one and well, I would say two close ones, and then the rest of them are, they're still friends and things like that. But I think I'm always kind of just searching for a deeper relationship that can bring value into my life. Like, as you get older, you're less like, I am so tired of this BS. Like, if you're not going to put any energy into me and like this is not going to be a two-way street, I'm out. I
Hmm.
don't have time for you.
Yeah, those one-sided friendships can be draining for sure. I've been in some of them, and I realized that they didn't it didn't seem like they had any plans of holding their own weight, so to speak. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna let this ship sink. I kind of stopped putting in effort, and they didn't either, so it just kind of sank. But for me, I'm in a little bit different position in life than you are, which is why one of the reasons why I went to this podcast is because we can compare and contrast. But for me, I graduated from college 6 years ago, which seems like a lifetime about now. But so when we're going through high school, especially in college, it's almost like a friend making factor. You're surrounded by people, and you're trying to find people who have common interests as you. So it's a lot easier whenever you're in college to make friends. And
Yeah,
one of the things that I realized that after college, I lost a lot of those friends, but I also realized that those friendships were probably um, being maintained and being held up by proverbial pillars, because we're both in college. We're both maybe we might be in the same class, maybe not. So I realized how hard it's become, to or how hard or more difficult it's become to be more social, more interactive after college. So do you think that a lot of friendships are based on common interests, and when that common interest doesn't really exist anymore, the friendship kind of cools off?
100%. I have an example of that. I had a guy that started working for the company I worked at, I don't know, maybe like 8 years ago. And man, we became thick as thieves. Like we started hanging out and doing stuff together. And then after like 3 years, he quit and went somewhere else. And like literally, we may have texted like 6 times since then. It's so
Wow.
weird because like we hung out as with our families, and I just don't know what happened. It was just like
Yeah.
we didn't have this common bond of working at the same place. And I bet you that happens to a lot of people. But yeah, it's funny you bring that up. I'm like, we just kind of, and it wasn't like we just stopped, like we don't like each other anymore. It's just like he went his separate way. And then, we hung out a little, maybe once or twice after he left. But like, it was like I said, maybe 6 times. And then we're like, okay, good
Nice
luck.
knowing you.
Yeah, it's so weird. And it's so awkward too. It's like, do you have that conversation, or you just like you said, you just kind of stop texting the person and they stop texting you? And I don't think there's any hard feel. I mean, I hope not. You'd hope that person would say, "Hey, I'm really bummed out that we didn't, connect." But yeah, you just feel like no hard feelings. We just grew apart or whatever. But it's always so weird. Like this is such a great conversation. Like you
Mhm.
said, how do you make friends, especially for you, and being in a job that you are like basically self-employed. There's not a lot of community. I mean, there's online community, right? Like look at all the Facebook groups that you could be in for gig workers, but is there truly a community for people that like do gig work?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah.
Not in
I mean,
person, at least.
yeah, we created that gig economy chat that, in selfishly back in the day, I turned it into more of like listen to our show, but it's kind of become like a life of its own and just like a community where,
It's like a break room. I've been in there. It's really
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like a break room. It's not always about gig economy, but it's just kind of a water cooler of people that are doing gig work throughout the country.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point that you brought up there. That and me, you, Steve, and Pedro and everyone, Hannibal, we all met through gig work. But the cool thing is, that I think that we're I don't want to say we're cool people, but we're like a certain type of people. But I think that we're also able to talk about stuff that's not gig work. Like some of us talk about football, we talk about sports, we talk about music, all these different topics. But some people, especially people in my life, it's like, okay, well, I don't work here anymore. What else do we talk about? And so I try, bringing up different topics, and they're not having it. It's like, all right, I could take a hint, and the friendship just kind of fills out, kind of like what happened to you, whatever
Yeah,
you
I mean, if when
experienced.
you're at work, yeah, you may have a few things in common, but the job has forced you guys to connect because you're
Yeah.
there together and you have to communicate and work together through whatever project you're working on and stuff like that. But if that's all y'all talk about, like if then it's not going to last after the job is done. So, which is a shame because I actually really liked that guy. He was kind of a goofball and it was
Hmm.
kind of fun to hang out with him. He did stupid shit, and it was fun to laugh at him. And and I'm still friends with them on Facebook, so we're still technically friends. But
Technically, yeah.
yeah, but this topic too, I'm glad you reached out. I am a frequent of Reddit, and that's like one of
Me
my
too.
favorite places. And my it's wonderful. And my city has its own subreddit like everything else.
Mine does too. Yeah, it's
Yours
great.
has got to be
Yeah.
insane where you live. Like our city, I mean, it's a mid-sized city, but still, I see at least once a week. Where do I make friends? I need help. I am lonely, and it's just like, or there's a Facebook group that's Grand Rapids Informed. It's like that. It's like people are really struggling with this topic,
Yeah.
and it's just no one has seemed to come up with the answer because, like, I mean, I guess the dating thing is a little different right now. You can do Tinder or whatever those things to meet people, but it's like, what do we do? Like,
Hmm.
what? Even me being married, of course, my wife is my best friend, but like, I don't want to hang out with her 24 hours a day. Like, I love her and stuff, but where do we go? Where do we go to meet people? I mean, we've met online and we're friends, but like, we don't like, hey, let's schedule a Zoom and talk to each other for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, we connect on these shows and stuff like that, but when do we ever like spend a time together, like looking at each other and just like talking about the football or whatever is going on? You just
Right. Just shoot
don't
the shit.
shoot the shit. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't do that, and maybe we should. But yeah. So sorry, I went on a rant there.
No, it's all good. What I was gonna say that before we move on from gig work, and by the way, as a side note, I'm going off topic too, so don't worry about it. I actually checked out the subreddit for my part of LA for my, I guess, community, and the first post or top post is about how a mountain lion is hopping a fence.
What the shit?
Yeah, I'll
That's
play again.
in your
It's
community?
massive. Yeah,
Oh
it's a
my
mountain lion, black
gosh,
mountain
that
lion. Yeah,
thing's you.
huge.
It's black too. I didn't know they
It looks
had black
black. Yeah,
mountain lions.
neither did I. But yeah, that's the side I see in my community. I guess I don't know, but yeah, just like you said, or before, like I said, before we move on from gig work, I wanted to ask you, like, have you tried talking to other gig workers and try to become like friends or establish some sort of friendship with them in your area, in your market?
John, you just brought up something that I just talked to my wife about. So I talked to Jesper, who is my co-host and my partner and all the little side hustles that we got. And I was like, hey, I see all these gig workers like at Panera. Like I should
Mhm.
create a QR code. And so say, hey, if you listen to podcasts, check it out. Not just for, I mean, I guess I was more looking for more promotion than friendship, but no,
Mhm.
I don't typically like reach out to anybody when I'm there, but I should. We're all kind of, they're probably freaking lonely too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And this is where the introvert part comes in. I don't feel
Mhm.
comfortable, um, really saying, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I'm da, 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 da. But, yeah, my wife and I just talked about that, like getting the QR code made up and at least so I can get a download.
I like it. Trying to form friendships while shamelessly plugging your
I
podcast. I
mean,
like it.
hey, we're all trying to do hustles, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like in the gig economy community too, everyone's probably got a business. Like, I'm trying to grow this business, but in the meantime, I'm door dashing or I'm sparking or whatever.
Right. By the way, a good time to probably do that is when Spark, because they don't have anywhere else to go other than sit inside their car.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Oh, don't even get me started with that.
One of the things that I wanted to mention is that or after 4 years, I finally made a friend from or someone that does gig work in my market because I've talked to a lot of people in my market, and a lot of people, I could tell like they don't really want to communicate. At first, I used to take it personal. I'm like, is there something on my face? Am I ugly? Or it's like, does my shirt look weird? But now I just realized that a lot of people don't, or they like this job because they don't have to talk to anyone. They like the
Yep.
idea of not having coworkers. They like the fact that they can just keep to themselves. And do you think that's just or the whole idea of people keeping to themselves? Do you think it's just is that kind of like how social media and internet have kind of like put us in, or is this some that that just kind of came about as as we less interact with each other less and less?
I mean, as far as gig work goes, I think that attracts introverts. Um, just
Mm,
because, it's a very introverted job. Although you wouldn't think about it on Facebook because, like, people bitching about stuff, but I guess that it's still behind a keyboard, you know what I mean? So maybe it's the same, but, can you rephrase your question again? If you I kinda
Yeah,
lost.
sure, no problem. I was just saying that. Do you think that? So okay, so we're seeing a lot of people kind of just glued to their phones, looking down. Do you think
Mm.
that's like kind of like a symptom of where we are with the internet and social media, or do you think it's just because just because we interact with each other less and less nowadays? So it's like
No.
you try to interact with someone and they're like, wait, is someone trying to talk to me?
No, 100%. So I have a daughter who's actually turning 15 tomorrow, and, and we have times set up on her phone, like limits and stuff like that.
Hmm.
She's glued to that damn thing, and,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna reduce the amount of interaction, like, if I can't see your eyeballs, like, we're not interacting in an appropriate way, and I think it hurts relationships, at least for her, and we've seen is that she's like texting her friends. She's not talking to them at school or
Hmm.
FaceTiming or calling on the phone. The second when you get away with that or you get away from like just actually having the hi, how you doing? The eyeballs, even if it was FaceTime, that would be way better than just sending
Right.
a text. I think you lose that, you know, how to make a friend thing. You lose like, oh, I said this inappropriately, or you didn't hear my tone, and now all of a sudden we're in a fight and stuff like
Right.
that because we're doing it
Good
via
point.
text. So yeah, as much as the phones are incredible, they have I would actually say they probably have more negative than positive, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
But I'm not giving mine up. Cold dead hands.
Earlier we talked about how Reddit is great and all that stuff. Actually, last week I went on my the subreddit for my community in LA. I actually I was I grew up here. I grew up Backbone, and then I asked if anyone wants to be friends in our area. I was like,
You
hey,
did.
I did, yeah. It's just as like a social experiment. I'm like, let me see if anyone bites,
Oh,
and one person did. We're gonna meet up at Starbucks this Wednesday. So,
no
yeah,
shit.
yeah, kind of exciting. But everyone else was like, they said they were down, but no one really took action other than this guy. This guy just messaged me saying, hey, here's my number. If you want to meet up this week, I'm available. So we decided to meet up on Wednesday around 6. So looking forward to
Well, I would be terrified.
it.
I would be terrified. I can't believe you did that. That's incredible. That takes some balls, man. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's I just like being around people, so like I guess that's a good segue into like how I'm able to. And by the way, when I was in high school I was super shy. Like I guess I was very introverted, but when I went to college and all that stuff I pushed myself to go out of my comfort zone. So now I could pretty much approach anyone in public and start up a conversation. And that's one of the things that I've noticed is that, like I mentioned, when I used to talk to people and or when I still talk to people, is that sometimes I feel like, they just don't want to talk. It's like you get the hint, they're trying to keep the conversation short and stuff like that. But have you tried to talk to anyone in public,
You know,
even
I
if it's like at the grocery store or anything?
you know, I think uncomfortable or weird situations actually causes people to connect. Like, for example, someone's in front of you, you're in the express checkout lane for 10 items less, and someone's in front of you and they
Mhm.
have 40 items, and you kind of look back at the person behind you and you're like, this guy, right? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you have this funny interaction. And I had that over the weekend. This was kind of a weird for me. I had to go, not had to go. I had the opportunity to go to my daughter's dance competition. My wife was working. She's a nurse, so she had a 12-hour shift. And there's a lot of women there, a lot of moms. There's some dance dads there too, but like I ended up sitting, this lady sat down next to me, and then they had said something. Then I was just like, oh, let's thank all the parents. And I was like, thank our checkbooks. You know what I mean? Because dance
Right.
is expensive, and the lady starts laughing, right? You know what I mean? So I find like I look for opportunities like that. Now, did we kind of we didn't really chit chat, but we kind of back and forth a little bit. Um,
You found some common ground.
yeah, some common ground. Like, and honestly, I love making people laugh. Like, if I can crack a joke and someone laughs, like that's my, the love languages or whatever. I wouldn't say that's my love language, but I really like that. So that's kind of how I try to connect with people. So yeah, I mean, I think I think I do try, even though I say it, I'm kind of introverted. I think I do look for it. But like when I'm working, like I'm like, don't fucking talk to me. Like I'm trying to get shit done. Like I'm just waiting for this order because like I got shit to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyways, I think we're all kind of like that a little bit.
I know you say you're in a rush to get from point A to point B whenever you have an order, especially when you're doing like Spark or DoorDash. Have you tried talking to any of the restaurant workers or any associates at the store?
So
Chit chat,
here's
small talk.
yeah, so this is my thing. This is a selfish thing though, John. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm always trying to grease the wheels. I be
Yeah.
super kind to those people. For one, like if you go into Taco Bell, it's not a great job, and they get shit on all day. So,
Hmm.
but like at Panera, I'm like, oh, the expo lady, I'm like, who's putting them together. I'm like, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like, but it's more selfish. So I can't say I'm like really going because I just want her to know, like, oh, I'm gonna get this order ready for this guy because I see him
Hmm.
every day and stuff like that. But
It's like,
um,
wow, he acknowledged me.
yeah, like I feel those workers get shit on all the time, and it's just I feel so bad for them. So yes, it's more like I have compassion for the job that you're doing, but also I want my order so I can get the hell out of there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, we
I'm
all
gonna.
we all we all kind of grease the wheels with stuff in life, you know?
I feel like it's a balance. You want to talk to them. They're human beings just like we are. And for me,
Yeah.
I've worked in retail sales. I used to work in retail sales for about 10 years, so I know what it's like. I've been on the giving end and the receiving end, so I know what it's like. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the stream. Carlos says, "Greetings, salutations. I might have to watch this one a little later due to logistics. No problem. Thanks for being part of Team Replay, Carlos. We got Blue Magic in the house. What's going on? We got Tony Driven Dad in the house. He's listening while lifting. Well, I hope you're doing a lift. What is it? Lift Lux, Jason, top tier one.
Is that what he is? We don't have that in our market because
Oh,
he's got a
really?
Tesla though, right?
He
So
well, he's in Denver, and he's in Denver, so he's in a
yeah,
bougie area.
yeah. Grand Rapids isn't bougie.
Let's see, Rodney. What's going on, Rodney? How's it going? We also have Rolling with Red in the house. Whoops. Appreciate you stopping by. We got Nova Dash in the house. What's going on, my friend? And we got the one and only Steam Mobile Tech in the house. What's going on, Steam? Appreciate you stopping by. So yeah, back to our conversation. For me, I've actually tried to I've talked to restaurant workers, and for me, it's a mixed bag. Some of them are like, "Here's your bag, just get out of my face," and then some of them they're open to having conversation. But yeah, and for the most part, the job that we do, we're in our cars most of our day. And actually heard, I think someone was on Pedro's live stream yesterday because Pedro was saying how he was kind of agreeing with us, saying that this is mostly a lonely job, and the guy was like, "No, I talk to my friends on Discord. We're always like." Talking to each other over voice, but it's like, is that really the same thing as hanging out with someone in person, talking to person? I don't know. What do you think?
Um, I think it is. I understand that it's
Okay.
just voice and stuff, but you know, when you're able to send a voice message, you can really connect a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like sending a
Hmm.
text, I don't think it is. I don't qualify that as a relationship if you're just on a straight texting relationship. But I use that Telegram app, and you can leave 20-minute messages if you wanted to. Please don't
Hmm.
leave me a 20-minute message, but
You'll get
yeah,
one from me tomorrow.
oh my gosh. Well, hey, I'll be gigging, so I'll just have it in my ear and it'll just play the whole
A mini
time.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah, basically. And I have another phone for work, so go ahead, send it. I won't interrupt my day at all.
That's funny.
Yeah. But no, I think if you're leaving your voice and I think that you're able to connect, I think the next level is though if you're in this group, like I talked about the chat for the gig economy show. I think it's more interesting when you take that outside of that chat and connect with that person because then I think
Hmm.
you're kind of building the relationship, which I have. I have a couple of people in that group that I regularly message that we have this relationship outside of that community. So I think that's valid. I mean, obviously, you and I, yeah, we were going to meet that one time, but weather got in the way.
Yeah.
We're not going to fly across the country. Like we all got shit to do and family. I mean, you can drop $1,000 to fly across the country and stay. You know what I mean? I would never expect somebody to do that. Um, so I think having those, voice conversations and stuff, I think that validates. I think that's what am I trying to say? I think that's considered a friendship as long as you're voicing and talking on the phone or Discord or Telegram or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you who don't know, but me and Jason, we talk to each other in voice messages, which I think is great. For one reason, it saves time.
Yes.
Because for me, I have an Android phone and an iPhone, and the keyboard on the iPhone sucks. Even if I type the correct word, it always changes something else. I don't know why. So for me, Jason sends voice messages. I'm like, I'd be more than happy to do the same. So, sending voice messages or even sending a video, that definitely helps. But I'm so thankful that I got to meet you, Steve Johnson. I don't know if you've met Sergio from Show Me the Money Club, the rideshare guy, but he and I were in the same market. We have lunch or dinner every now and then. So yeah, I'm grateful that I got to be a part of this gig community because without you guys, I don't know what the hell I'd be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're definitely in a different boat. I mean, at least with I feel like when you're married, you just doubled your friend load, right? Kind of like
Yeah.
as far as like going out to dinner or stuff like that. But when you're single, it can be hard. I mean, it's just the
hmm
reality. It's not a cut on anyone that's single. It's hard. You should really get a dog. You not like
I've been
that?
thinking about it. I'm just not home to take care of it, so that's why I'm like 50-50 on it still.
You get a dog. They love you regardless. I mean, yeah, if you're gone 16 hours a day, that might be trouble. But I mean, you're a gig worker.
They'll
You're
tear the house
flexible.
down.
Yeah, you'd be out. Yeah, you go out and work for 4 hours, come home, play with the dog for an hour, grab some food, go out again. Just doing that. Like I love my puppies. I don't know what I'd do without them.
I'm glad you brought that up because for me, I actually dash about 15-20 miles away from where I live. Do you
Okay.
kind of like work in your general area?
Yeah, I am very fortunate that I can stay within like 7 miles of my house.
You open the apps from your phone. Can you
Yeah,
wait for a
yeah.
good order?
Yeah, exact well, in the morning, that's what I do, like, I'm
Yeah.
drinking my coffee, and then I just, like, turn them on and just like, "Okay, well, let's see what we got." But yeah, no, I live pretty close. So, yeah, I could see that with a dog, but I see, you're rolling with Red said, "Get a cat." Nah,
I'm not a cat person.
I'm not a cat person either, I'll be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, if a neighborhood cat walks up to, um cats are terrible people.
Did you see
Uh,
this comment? Sovereign, now
oh
you're speaking Jason's language.
Oh, man, I'm filthy with that stuff. God knows. Don't get around me, I'll get dirty. But what I was saying about a cat is, like, if a neighborhood cat comes up, I'll pet it, but I don't want it in my house.
Yeah. Oh snap! Speaking of devil, we got Steve Johnson house. What's going on, Steve? How's it going? This is what up, Jason and John.
My man, Steve, he's my boy. Love that guy.
Yeah, Steve's awesome. I like to call him Grandpa Steve, just because he looks out for everyone. He or actually no, Uncle Steve, not Grandpa Steve.
I would say
It's
gr
Uncle
yeah.
Steve and Grandpa Gary. Gary Middleton. I call him Grandpa Gary.
Oh, and I think Gary's younger than Steve.
He is, yeah. He is, yeah. It's funny because Gary has grandkids, so I just tease him. I
He
call him Grandpa
does?
Gary. Yeah,
I didn't know his kids were that old.
yeah. I didn't know either until he told us.
He looks so damn young.
Yeah, he's like, what, 43 and Steve's 50. So yeah.
What the fuck? He's 43?
Sorry, Steve. I just put your age out there.
Oh, we all know Steve's age.
It's all right. I like to call him Uncle Steve because even though he's 50, he still acts like he's 20. So I love him.
Hey,
Love him
you
to
know what?
pieces.
I love that he acts young at heart because, man, he's gonna live to be 100. I'm gonna be
hmm
dead at 65. No,
Knock on wood.
no way, man. I'm running. I'm trying to make some healthy. Look at
I look good
I'm
for
trying.
50.
Yeah, I'm trying to make some healthy choices as I'm drinking a Diet Mountain Dew. But
I was gonna ask, are you still drinking those energy drinks?
fuck yeah, John, I got a problem. You want to hear? I know we're way off topic, but I so I opened the fridge this morning and there's a Celsius. So apparently Celsius is the teenager energy drink that they like or whatever. And I'm pretty
hmm
strict on my kids drinking soda. Like they're not allowed to drink soda during the week, even though I do. I mean, I'm 46. Like fuck you. Like I can drink it when I want. But they're not allowed to drink it, so they have to ask for it. And every once in a while during the week if it's a special event. But I saw this. I was like, where did you get this? And she was like, "Oh, my friend gave it to me." So I looked at the caffeine count and the Celsius. Now, mind you, those Celsius are like Red Bull size.
They're
They're
thin
not.
cans, yeah.
Yeah, they're not like the
They're like,
big monsters.
yeah,
That can had 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. My
that's
Monster has
insane.
160. No, I know it's only 40 milligram difference, but I'm like, if my kid drank this thing, she might have to go to the hospital because she's having heart palpitations. So, anyways, long story short, I'm still drinking them, and yeah, I know they're just too delicious.
For me, I actually used to drink 2 a day, especially when I was in college. But yeah, during the pandemic, when I was drinking them, I just realized that they were making me more anxious, which is something that I
Oh,
never experienced before because of what was going on in the world. People getting
mhm.
hospitalized and all that stuff. So I'm like, I've had one ever since. But yeah, there's way too much caffeine in those things.
That's good for you to recognize that it
Yeah,
was causing some issues. And
yeah.
honestly, the caffeine doesn't even affect me anymore. It's just like the taste and it's like comfort for me. But I did just talk to my wife the other day. I was like, I need to do a monster purge for a while. Like I went 90 days without it
The
and
little
then
detox.
a little detox, get back on it slowly, and then I'm right back in it again. So
What's your favorite flavor? I know we're getting off topic, but what's your favorite flavor?
Hey, dude, I can go off topic for a long time, so you gotta bring me back.
I
Um,
will.
I order it on Amazon once a week, and it's the Ultra Sunrise, the sugar-free,
Oh, the
and it's
orange one.
the orange.
Yeah, orange sugar free one.
Fucking delicious, man.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like orange soda. I've had it once or
It's
twice.
so good. So good. Like, when I crack one of those in the morning, like well, when I'm fasting, I'm taking a fasting break right now. It's the holidays. My wife made these bitchin' cookies, and I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, no. But anyways, when I do crack with that first one, when I break my fast and eat my sandwich, oh, so fucking
Well, have you ever tried the what's it called? Pacific Punch. It's a monster. It's like a kind of like a teal or like a tan can with like a red lighting. It tastes like a carbonated Halloween Hawaiian Punch. It's
You
so
know
good.
what? I haven't. I'm such a prick.
Creature of habit.
Yeah, I would say prick. I don't try anything else, but no, I swear there's so many awesome flavors out there, and I'm probably missing some. You
Yeah,
know, for a while, John, those started giving me. It must have been something else, but I thought those were giving me heartburn. I had to quit them for a while,
I
but
had that too.
I think it was something else because I went back like a couple months later, and it's never been an issue since. So I don't know
Mm,
what was going on, but
that's strange. Maybe that little bit of break helped you because I've yeah the
could be.
I've had a couple of instances where I would drink when I would get heartburn and I never get heartburns.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's kind of scary to be honest.
yeah, heartburn is uncomfortable.
It is.
Yes.
Sovereign says
Oh,
I miss those salts. Oh,
never
that's
heard of it.
I think that one tastes like a Pepsi. It's more like a soda-y monster. All right, I'm gonna reel the conversation back in. Back to and I'm glad you brought up the idea of cookies and all that stuff. It's like it seems like that's just something that we might have to do these days. Take someone, like a commonly liked food or snack, be like, hey, I brought you cookies. Do you want to be friends?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think with the pandemic, people will be less likely to take them just because people are being weird. Although you're not going to get COVID for a fucking cookie that someone made. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
that's not how you get COVID, dumbass. You know what I mean? But I think people like the school now, my kid's school, they don't allow to bring in home goods. But I mean, any way you can get to connect with people. Like, are you going to bring cookies to your meetup with your new friend from Reddit? Like, you should do. I don't know. That would be weird.
Probably not on the first one. First
Yeah.
one, but maybe later on.
Have you guys, texted at all?
I mean, we texted to plan it, but no. Other than that, I just
No,
wanna.
you're going in completely like,
I'm
what if
going
this
going in blind.
oh
It
my
almost feels like a blind date.
John, I feel like you have to, like, record it somehow, like, it could be terrible or it could be incredible, I don't know.
I don't know. He said that. So I dashed into college town. He was saying that he kind of lives in that university. So I don't know if he's a college student, but he said that. He said he had disability. He didn't say what kind of disability. He said that the place we were planning on meeting, it's a little bit of a walk. I said, "Hey, do you want to meet somewhere close?" He's like, "No, it's all good." So now I'm interested to see what what I'm getting myself into.
Well, that actually piqued my interest when you said disability, because people with disabilities, I mean, you talk about us struggling with friendship. If you have a disability where maybe you walk with a limp, maybe you're
Hmm.
in a wheelchair, maybe something happened or whatever, they struggle big time as
Yeah.
adults. Um, So, I mean, it could be something like that. I'm so intrigued about your meetup. Like, I cannot wait. You're gonna have to do a welfare check, like, after that, though. Like, if we don't hear from you 12 hours after
I'll
that
share my
time.
location with you
Yeah,
on my
exactly.
iPhone.
Like, we're gonna need to know what's going on with you. I don't need to see anything in the news, for God's sakes.
No, I'm like twice his size probably, so I'll be all right.
I don't know, man.
Right, sure radio. Steve says culling like Hannibal is busting into cuddles can be just hanging with someone on there.
He's always about making that buck. He don't want friends unless you pay him. I mean,
Exactly.
that's what it sounds like to me. So,
Yeah, it's like imagine like me. Okay, by the way, for those of you who are just coming in now and missed it earlier, I was talking to Jason about how I went on Reddit and I posted something about along the lines of hey, does anyone want in this area want to hang out, like have like some type of like group meetup on weekday, like during dinner or whatever. And someone actually was able to connect with someone who lives in the area, and so we're gonna meet at Starbucks on Wednesday at around 6 or 7 p.m. my time. So yeah, it's exciting.
yeah, I'm pretty proud of you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it can be scary, but um, yeah, good job for you. Proud of you for that.
Maybe it'll inspire you and other people to do the same. I don't know.
I don't know. So it's funny. I love where we're having this conversation because I have another story about kind of like workplace and it's gig related. So I'm going to
Hmm.
tell you because this is what it's about. I do Walmart Spark, and I have a W-2 job. But side note, that might be going away this year.
Oh
You
no.
said some breaking news by my choice. But anyways,
Oh.
yeah, no, I'm not getting shit canned. Um, so I do Walmart Spark and I do it from like November to like let's say March 1st. That's my gig time. And I met this lady that's also a shopper, but she works for Walmart. And we somehow
Wow.
connected. And so we every day I would work, I would see her and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" or whatever. And then all of a sudden, my gig season ends and I just disappear. Like I never saw her again. So I came back this year and I didn't see her. I'm like, "Oh, man, that's kind of bummed out about that." We had again, it was like a workplace. So just a week ago, she's like, now remember when last year, we were still wearing masks pretty much the whole winter until like maybe like February, like after
Hmm.
Christmas and stuff, it started slowing down. So we all had masks on. And I hear, hey, you. And I turn around and I didn't even recognize her. Like, yeah. She's like, it's me. I don't even know her fucking name, John. I don't even know her name. Like, she's got a name badge on, but I never looked at it, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god!" Well, come to find out, she broke her foot
Oh no.
in February, or no, it was like July or something. And she was off for like 6 months or whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I've connected with people, but where do I go with that relationship? Like, well, for one, she's a woman, so that always is like, well,
Yeah.
I'm married and stuff, and I'm not interested in her. I mean, she's not even really attractive, but I mean, like, we just kind of connected and we have
You're saying
fun.
it'd be different if she was attractive.
No, no, I walked into that one. No, I mean, it would make it easier. I'm not gonna lie, but but yeah. So like, what would you do? I mean, in my position, like, you're not gonna be like, hey, do you want to grab coffee? I'm like, she's married too. It's just like,
Yeah.
is it okay just to be like, I mean, technically we don't work for the same company, but well, we do, but I'm not an employee at Walmart. Is it okay to be like that and then to just be fine with her not being there? Because I was a little bummed when I came back and didn't see her. I mean, it's not like
Mhm.
I think about it like all the time, but like, sorry, the comment. Every time I read the comments is like,
Sovereign's always with the funny comments.
I mean, she didn't have a bad ass at all. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, like, what do? You just like, okay, this is our relationship and this is fine. And I guess that's okay with it. But I mean, she seemed like it would be really fun to hang out. Like, I don't know her husband or anything, but anyways.
I think I don't. Whenever people ask me, should I spill the beans? Should I share like all my thoughts at once? Onto a person, I usually say no, but in this case, I think you almost have to, just to kind of like cover yourself. Be like, hey, we've known each other for for this period of time. I think you're really cool. If you just want to have like I guess you have to come like with your own turn, not like a work buddy, but like if you just want to have like a chat buddy or someone to talk to after work or something, just let me know. I don't know. It's a very
Yeah,
fine line though. It's a very fine line.
it's super fine when it's a woman. My wife would
Yeah,
kind of be like, "Yeah, why are you texting her?"
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I have a couple ladies that for my other show, Threads Podcast, that are Patreon members, and Megan, my wife Megan, is fine with that. Like, I think it's different. But yeah, I don't think my wife would be cool if I said, "Yeah, I'm chatting this girl that I met at Walmart that does," you know what I mean? Like, my wife's not a jealous person, but she'd be like, and I would be like, "What the fuck?" if it was the flip.
it's an eyebrow raiser for sure.
Oh, 100%. It's both eyebrows. It's not one.
Yeah,
So I think maybe if it was a guy, it would be more comfortable and like, hey, send me, let's just text or whatever. But that's
it's
just
different.
weird
Yeah.
too. Like it's so strange. I feel like you have to have something in common. Like I think you and I connected because we're both into gig work
Hmm.
and we kind of, it just seems like we vibe. So it's like if we were living near each other, I think we'd be like, hey, let's go get a beer or let's go get coffee or whatever. And I think
Yeah.
but I think you just have to have something in common, which would be work. But again, we go back to the story where, it seems like when work goes away, there's no relationship there. So I don't know. If someone could figure it out, that would be great.
Yeah, maybe she's just one of those people where you just talk to when you see her at Walmart. I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
tough one for sure.
Yeah.
There's no easy answer for that one.
Right. So what else you got for me?
I was just reading the comments to see if anyone has
Oh,
any questions. I'm gonna. Um. All right, y'all.
Sovereign
So, Sovereign.
cracks me up.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. But yeah, so I guess all right. So everyone, if you guys have any questions for or comments for myself or for Jason, let us know. We'll be answering in about 10 minutes or so. But I guess
Yeah.
like the tail end of this stream, I guess is it safe to to come conclusion that there's no real clear or easy way to come up with a friendship at when you're adult? I don't know. What do you
I
think?
mean, yeah, I can elaborate a little bit on that. It's also hard to maintain a friendship as an
Yeah.
adult. Like hanging out or it's just hard having friendships as an adult. And I don't know if it's because we're busy with our own lives, but yeah, I think it's safe to say that there's no real answer to it. Um and I think everyone needs somebody because we're human beings. I don't care if you say like I'm an introvert, I don't care. That's bullshit. Like we
Hmm.
all want human connection. Um I think we need it to thrive. I mean, really. Can you imagine not talking for like or being in like solitary confinement in a prison for like 2 weeks and not talking to anybody? I mean, that would be horrible.
And that's the that leads to, like depression, anxiety, and all these mental health issues. When you don't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole mental health issue. Yeah, that could be a topic for a whole nother show. I'm sure you've talked about it, but
Have you heard of a website called Meetup.com?
me up?
Yeah, Meetup, like a meet,
Oh,
like you
me
meet
up.
someone. Yeah,
No.
Meetup. Yeah.
No.
It's pretty popular here. I mean, it's popular here, so sometimes I feel, I think that it's popular everywhere else too. But it's basically a website where people meet. Like these groups are formed based on common interests. So, like some of the ones that I see in my area are like bar crawls, hiking,
Mhm.
golf, tennis, whatever. The problem is that a lot of them are on the opposite side of LA. So during the week, there's no way in hell that I'm gonna make the commute because by the time I get there, the event will probably be over.
Well, yeah, I mean, with LA, I mean, 20-minute drive in Grand Rapids would take like an hour and a half
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, so I've actually used the website for 4 or 5 years. I've made some good friends, but again, for the most part, it seems like if you can't form a friendship based on the reason why you met, people don't really want to maintain that friendship. It's strange.
Well, this whole conversation, yeah, I agree with that, is bringing up things. There's a group in Grand Rapids, and it's like a social sport group. They like play badminton and
Hmm.
stuff like that. I think that would be fun. But again, is that just going to be just do that? I mean, I think that's what it's called. It's called social something, but maybe more people need to do that. And I think that website, I'm on it right now. There's literally groups in this area, which is freaking hilarious.
Mhm.
that you brought that up, but maybe that's how you meet people, like, if you're into gardening or, those kinda things, but, um
There's a meter for everything: hiking, wine tasting, sports, everything. Dining.
well, like, yeah, so this is Friday, January 6th, game night with friends, and there's over 36 people saying they're attending.
Yeah.
What the hell? I never even heard of this stuff.
Sometimes it's like meeting at someone's house.
Oh,
Total stranger.
see, that's weird. Like, I still have the little, like, danger stranger. Oh, look at this one. Bauer Christian Singles game night. 4 people are going.
Does it say where the event is? Sometimes
Um,
you have to be part of the group to see the location.
I don't know. I'm clicking on it. Oh, it's at the church.
Okay,
So
that
I
makes
feel like
sense.
that's pretty safe. Well, I mean, yeah, unless it's the Catholic Church.
Sovereign's,
Uh-oh, that's
can't believe you
terrible.
slipped that one.
I got you. See, that's what I love. I love it. I got you.
Sovereign's commenting your collection back, Jason.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
sorry, wrong comment. There we go.
Oh, I have a bunch more, dude. Like, I need to spend some time mounting them. It's become a huge problem of displaying them. And my studio, I have wall space, but it's filled with sound panels to kind of absorb all the echoing. So I actually don't have a ton of um, space for them. But yeah, I love collecting them. I get on these uh, kicks where I start buying them, but then I look down, I've spent $100 on Funko Pops. I'm like, okay, we need to take like a Funko Pop purge for like 3 months, so my checkbook can survive.
Right. I know you had a W-2 job. I've worked in corporate America for a while. Do you like when it comes to like becoming friends with your coworkers? I know you said you had one for a while in the past, but in general, do you feel comfortable with opening up with people at work, or do you kind of keep it cordial and work related?
No, I'm kind of an open book. If I
Okay.
can feel like you're kind of a safe person, I mean, I'm not going to go into everything, but on Threads, I've talked about my childhood trauma. Like, I'm pretty comfortable talking about that. Not that it wasn't a big deal, but I mean, I've been through a lot of therapy and stuff like that, so it's okay. But no, I'm fine going deep with somebody, even at work. Like, if someone's struggling, I'm like, "Man, I can relate," like, da, 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 you know what I mean? I actually I think I thrive, and maybe this is a male thing or maybe it's a me thing.
Hmm.
I thrive on giving people either comfort or that I can help them. I can help them somehow, like, whether that's mentally, like, I can relate with a story and be empathetic, or, I can go drop some food off for you because whatever, you're going through something. So, I really get a lot of joy out of that. So, me personally, I can open up with friends at work. I mean, how about you? You've worked in, like I said, corporate America before.
Yeah, for me, I used to do that until a couple of coworkers thought it would be a good idea to get me fired
Oh,
because so
oh,
for
you
me, I was
said too
in
much.
sales. I was yeah, I've worked in sales actually for basically all of my life, and yeah, when I was doing way better than them, they went to HR and basically made like a little bit of the truths turn into like really big ones, and they lied a lot, and it got me fired. So now I'm kind of a little more reserved on what I say and who I talk to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that was a lesson learned for you. I think
Yeah,
when you're opening up about work stuff, you definitely have to be careful because you never know how that's going to be construed. But I think opening up about you and who you are as a person and your story a little bit, I think that's good. I think that's a good connection piece. Yeah, don't like everyone go up to you and like, yeah, my mom beat the shit out of me, so I'm kind of an asshole because of it.
yeah,
Like, don't do that. That's people are gonna never talk to you again. But when you connect with somebody and you feel like not that you're doing like I wouldn't do that to somebody just because I want them to know. I would feel like, hey, I can relate to this person and whatever they said, like, hey, I get whatever's going on. But yeah, I think that was probably a lesson learned from you. I kind of have the attitude you can't trust anybody, honestly, until you basically have to earn your trust with me. It takes a long time. And if you
yeah.
fuck with me, it's gonna be a problem. Like I'm not gonna let it go.
Yeah, that's something I've learned over the years because, I have a feeling that, you might be similar, but I have a big and a kind heart. I want to help as many people as I can, but then I realize that not everyone has that intention. So,
Yeah.
you got to be careful with how you open up yourself to people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you want to be kind and you want to just be nice to people, but not everyone's like us. There are
Yeah,
people out there that are just trying to get the next buck or whatever it is. So you really got to be careful on what you say to people. But and that's sad. But I know it's life, but it's still sad. You know what I mean? Like we talked about a little bit of firearm talk before the show and how
yeah.
for whatever reason this country has issues with mass shootings, and it's just like it's just sad when you see that kind of stuff, and you just got to be careful. So
Yeah, I agree. And one of the things that I think the reason why there's such a struggle in mental health in this country nowadays because everything's gone digital. We don't really have that person to person interaction anymore, unless some people like really really or they put a lot of effort and they're very intentional about it. Um, but one of my experiences, we talk like, again, we are talking before the show is that I'm very extroverted. So whenever I try to talk to people, whether it's in public or in a restaurant or like basically while I'm working or not working, some people just don't want to talk. They don't want
yeah,
they just want you to leave them alone. So yeah, it's hard with communicating with a lot of people. I think, the combination of social media and just people being more disconnected in person. I think that's taking a toll on mental health nowadays.
yeah. I mean, the whole digital thing is funny you brought that up. Like during the pandemic, therapy, my therapist wanted to do virtual, and I fucking hated it.
Mm,
Like this, right? Like
right,
it. I mean, yeah. It. Let's face it. If you and I were in my studio together, we'd probably have the same conversation, but you and I would just feel more connected, right? Because
right.
I feel you, I see you, like
You
everything
pick
around.
up on each other's vibe and energy and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, um, but yeah, I hated that. But yeah, I think there's some good with the digital. I do, like I said about the phones, but I think that we're gonna see it. We have not seen it yet, but I think. I mean, what is it? What are cell phones? 10 years old, like the smartphones, roughly 13. I don't know.
I would say probably closer to 15.
Okay, so it's and honestly, like when we say 15 years, it seems like a lot, but in the span of like how things are going to affect people down the road, it's just we're in infancy stage. So I think we're going to see a lot of issues or a trend of where people are like getting rid of their smartphones and stuff like that. But it hasn't helped our social connecting. I will
Mhm.
tell you that. I mean, it's been great for the technology and stuff, but as far as like making friends, I think it's made it worse personally.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, like for work stuff, like meetings or business stuff, like if I can do video chat instead of driving all the way to the other side of LA during rush hour, like this is amazing. It's
Oh
godsend. But
yeah,
when it comes to
100%.
like forming friends and stuff, yeah, this is not it's not it. I agree.
Hey, maybe you should connect with your secret guy on Zoom before you meet him.
I don't know. I don't know.
You do
I
what
want to
you
meet in
want. I'm
person.
just like I'm proud of you, but I'm actually a little terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mean
But
to
even
scare
even
you.
if all things even if things go well on Zoom, doesn't mean that they can't go wrong in person. So
100%. But at least you can get like it's like literally a blind date. You're gonna be like, I'm wearing a yellow sweater and I got a red coat on. I'm over here in the corner.
yeah. I mean, it's a public place, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess that's
no,
the reason why I'm like, whatever
yeah,
about
you're
it.
right. 100%. It's just it's that weird of thing though. If like, what if they're like you cue in right away that they're like whatever extreme, pick an extreme or a
Yeah,
person like you're like, oh gosh, how do I get out of this thing? You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's the only worry. But oh yeah, I'm not worried about your safety. I mean that was tongue in cheek. You're in a public place, so
yeah.
I'm super stoked about it. I can't wait to hear the result. When did you say it was?
This Wednesday at 7 local time.
Shit. All right. I need to see a text from you on Thursday then.
Yeah, I'll send you a voice message and you could listen to it
Yes.
on Thursday.
Yes. It'll probably be 20 minutes too.
Yeah. No, second list. It won't be 1959. It'll be 20 or 2001.
Oh my gosh. Don't be like that.
All right, guys. As we're wrapping up into the final few minutes of the stream, thanks again to Jason for coming on. If you guys have any questions for us or comments, if you guys want to contribute to the conversation within the last next 5 minutes or so, let us know in the comments. But yeah, Jason, I guess there's no clear way. I mean, it's almost like you have to get creative, right, to make friends nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
for example, you hadn't heard of Meetup.com, and now you know about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I would do anything, but I mean,
Yeah,
look at let's put it this way. If I was scrolling through this and I saw, oh, podcast meetup for blah blah blah, the fuck I'd be there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Podcast meetup for Americans living in Granville with beards, long beards. I'm
yeah,
down.
I'm there. Like, I'm totally about because I love podcasting. I love everything about it. So I would be totally down about. There's so many on here, John. I'm going through all these. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
they're really fun. Would you ever consider starting one yourself, like a podcast meetup?
you know what? I fucking would do that.
You
Like,
should, yeah.
I met a podcaster. My realtor always gives away pies. Like, we haven't used her in 15 years, but she always gives away pies. And so I went this year and she's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Jason, this is blah, blah, blah. He's a podcaster too. And I got so excited. I was like, you
Right.
are? Because,
Yeah.
like, you don't know anyone in your community. Like, I
Right.
feel like I'm the only one, but they're like, yeah, he's
You and
like,
Steve.
yeah. He's like, yeah, I have this show. And I'm like, oh, let me have your card. And like all of a sudden I was just super excited. So yeah, I would definitely think about putting something together. It's all about time though, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it gets put down the list. Like, is this something I really, really need to do or not? But yeah, I
Do you
need
think it's time, or do you think that it's us talking ourselves out of it because we're worried about new interactions?
100%. I think it's I think it's us being worried about, you know, that awkward interaction.
What
So,
they might say, what they might think of us, things like that.
yep. Yep, for sure. Well, I searched podcasts. There's no groups in my area for that. So,
And so it begins.
oh no, you've created a monster. Oy vey.
Sovereign says common interest is a good stepping stone. I agree. And also one thing, I wanted to add to this or add on to Sovereign's comment is that one really good way to meet new friends is through mutual friends. Like let's say like let's say you and I are hanging out, we both tell each other to invite our friends, and then you might become with some of my friends, I might become friends with some of your friends, and now that I think about it, I've actually made a lot of my friends like that through mutual
Yeah.
friends.
Well, I mean, it's the whole bar thing, right? You head out
Yeah.
to the bar with a bunch of friends that they may not know each other. Like, hey, my buddy Tim's coming, whatever, and then they can connect. But yeah, I think people are trying to get away from. I don't know. Maybe young kids still do that, meet people at the bars, but I feel like it's probably not the best way to meet somebody. I mean, at least a significant other.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna watch a football game, like you're inviting people out to a football game, like, hey, I'm bringing Tim over, and I'm like, oh, you're bringing someone I don't know. God dang it, John! Like, ugh.
Exactly.
And then you end up liking him, and then you're like, oh, this guy's cool as hell, you know?
Yeah, one of the friends that I've actually been friends with for a long time, that I'm actually gonna see this weekend is a friend that I met through one of my close friends who passed away last year. So yeah, it's meeting mutual friends is definitely something that I feel like it's underrated. It doesn't really get talked about enough. It's always like, oh, go on this app, or oh, talk to this person in public, when you could just do as well. Trying to find mutual friends. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think you're doing a good job. I think we're all kind of trying. I think this is valuable for people to listen to. And I think it's important to keep those connections or try to just you should we should have one little tip that we can send out to people, like reach out to that friend that you may or reach out to that person that you want to be a friend. I feel like I'm gonna go up and to that lady at Walmart, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't even know your name. What's your name? Even though it's like on her badge, like, and that is crazy. And then who's the one that said I was looking at her boobs? Yeah,
Sovereign.
yeah, like, Her tag would be right over that. So clearly, I'm not looking at that spot,
Right.
bro, or gal, or whoever. I don't know.
You never know. She might be looking for a friend outside of her marriage too. You never know.
Ooh, see, that's the scary part, right? Like, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking just for some hangout or
That's what
just
I meant, like a casual friend, like a non
oh,
a
yeah,
platonic
yeah.
friend. Yeah,
And I
not
think
as like a side piece thing.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
You're
I
welcome.
think guys and girls can be friends, but it has to be done in a way that, like, your wife's all about, that. So, brah,
Tony says, "Bruh."
you sound like my kids. God, I hear "brah" and your mom, like, every 2 seconds in my house.
I can't believe kids still talk about that. I thought we were over that.
What, your mom?
Yeah, your mom and like bruh. Like I don't really hear bruh anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
kids are coming with their own lingo. Well, I was watching a YouTube video. I heard something about like you're cool to your ribs or like something I've never heard before. So there's always like new lingo coming out.
Oh, brah, because boobs.
Oh, don't quit your
Anyways.
day job, Tony.
Yeah, yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
no, man, I've had disease like drip.
Like drip. Yeah, I
Oh
haven't heard
yeah,
my kids
yeah,
haven't said that.
yeah,
I
like
like
swag, drip. It's like all in the same ballpark.
yeah, or, oh, bussin'. This food is
Bussin'.
bussin'. Like, my
Yeah.
kids say that too.
There's one vlogger in Pennsylvania. Her name's what was it? Meg Ryan or no, wait.
Meg Ryan, that's an actress.
I know. That's why I just I forgot the name of her channel. Wow. I think or no, it's the Meg, the THEMEG, something like that. But if you look her up, she has uh like a vlog channel where she does like a lot of camera work, but like she always says like this pasta's bussin'. And
Oh,
she's like my age, so yeah, I don't know,
I
it's kind of
kinda
weird.
like that one, the bra or
Bruh,
whatever,
bruh,
I don't
yeah.
know, but, like, this is
What up, bruh?
bussin'.
Yeah, bussin'.
Like
Or lit's another one.
oh, that's
It's
kinda
like,
old, though.
is
That's
it?
I would say that's older than, like, my kids' age. I don't even know what my kids are. They're not
That party was lit, yo, last night.
yeah, yeah, that's like, back in, like, the early 2000s, I would say. I don't know, but
All right,
anyways.
Jason. Any closing thoughts? Any final thoughts before we end the stream?
No, I appreciate you having me. I think this is a good conversation. I think you did. I love being on here and talking about it, and I appreciate you having me on it. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We definitely have to do another one of this maybe after I meet my Reddit friend, my blind Reddit friend.
Ooh, we could do like a just a quick live, like just
Yeah,
a recap video. We could
10
just
minute.
do,
Yeah.
yeah, go live and be like, this is what happened.
Here are the deets. Here's the 411.
Yes, yes, for sure.
As far as for me, closing thoughts, I would just say, in the beginning when I tried to make friends with my extroverted self, I thought I was me. I had something on my shirt or something on my face, but I just realized that not a lot of people want to form friendships. They just kind of want to stay in the online world. So yeah, just you have to be creative when it comes to meeting people nowadays, and it takes a lot more effort than just sitting at home and texting someone. But yeah, if you guys are, if you guys are in a part of your life where you feel like you need or want more friends, just reach out to people because it's more likely that people aren't going to reach out to you. You have to reach out to them, put in that effort,
Yep.
and just kind of see where it goes.
Yeah, make the first step for sure.
Tony says the beard is busting.
Oh, he said this beard is bussin'. Is he talking about my beard or does he have a
That
beard?
yeah, Tony, you need to clarify before we end the stream. We need answers now.
Yeah, I got him on my list to
Lit fam.
connect with him next month. So
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Tony's a cool dude as well. It would definitely be a good stream to watch.
yeah,
But thanks again, Jason. Thanks for taking time out of your super busy schedule to come on
appreciate
my
it.
channel and to have this conversation. It was a really good stream, and we definitely need to do another one soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button. That lets YouTube know that you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys are watching replay, let us know what your thoughts or your comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next one.
All
Peace.
right, peace.